Stephanie's a lady who can tell us about how the leading ladies of Hollywood start their road to fame. She's one of my idols. I'm sort of about to wet myself here. I've got to be honest. I am. I'm quivering with anticipation. Will you please welcome the one and only Miss Stefanie Powers? Come on, let's do it. Oh, Stefanie, it's good to see you.
Thank you,
It's good to see you. Look, now, Stefanie, I've got something here. This is going to be a bit of a shock for you.
Yes, I think it might.
Yeah, I don't think this is something you've seen, actually. This was your first ever TV break, and it was a pilot show called Swinging Together. Do you remember it?
No.
Well, let's see if this jogs your memory. Don't hit me if you don't like it, please.
What's the matter, fellas? Are we going through a hospital zone?
May I ask which one of you is the leader?
Oh, I guess I am. My name is Bobby Day.
I'm Linda Craig, chairman of the organization that hired you.
Oh, well, real nice to meet you.
Thank you. You're fired.
Do you remember doing that?
I'm trying to remember doing that, but you know, I sort of had two breaks. The first break ever was actually the break that put me in the business in the first place. And that was, when I was 15 years old, I had the great honor and privilege of working for Jerome Robbins in the movie version of West Side Story.
Oh, really?
But I literally got my biggest break by running into somebody in the corridors of Columbia Pictures. I was rushing through the hallways, and I literally ran smack into a man who was wearing the same sunglasses. And he said, "What do you do here?" And I said, "I'm an actress." And he said, "Are you any good?" And no one had ever asked me that before. And I was a very cocky kid, and I said, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "Well, I'm a director, and my name is Blake Edwards, and I'm doing a movie here." He said, "Why don't you come up and see me?" And I said, "Well, I was late for class and all this." He said, "Well, come up and see me after class." So I ran into class, and I told the man, the coach who was leading the class, that I had just run into Blake Edwards, and he told me to come and see him. He said, "Well, what are you doing here?" And as a result of that, I did 15 motion pictures for Columbia. And in those days, you were not allowed to do television and motion pictures. It was exclusive to motion pictures. But when at the end of the 5 years, I was offered a television series called The Girl from Uncle.
Oh, please, The Girl from Uncle
And,
used to keep me going. Honestly, I was demented for The Girl from Uncle. I just think the
But I've got some memorabilia from that.
I like all the gadgets, you know, like the powder compact with the parachute in it and the ladder and the two Alsatians and the tear gas and all this. It's just wonderful. It really is. And Heart to Heart, that was another big favourite of mine.
It was a favourite of mine, too.
And we've got somebody here now. It's Robert Wagner.
Oh.
Yeah, and some bits and pieces from Heart to Heart. Would you like to see it?
My pal, yes.
Roll tape.
This is my boss, Jonathan Hart, a self-made millionaire.
Heart to Heart was a massive TV hit. The star, Robert Wagner, played a huge role in getting it off the ground when it was brought to him by a producer pal of his.
This man that I knew, Tom Mankiewicz, my friend, he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I would like to do something that gives me the feeling that I get when I watch The Thin Man," which was Bill Powell and Myrna Loy. I said, "That's the kind of comedy I would like to do." We started to have to find the leading lady. I thought that the only person to play this part was Stefanie Powers, who was absolutely sensational in the show.
Say, you're the man that found that poor girl's body, aren't you? It's an awfully good thing you did. Otherwise, there'd be a murderer running around loose.
And the next thing you know, we were on for 5 years. And it was a wonderful experience. I really enjoyed it a lot.
don't they make stuff like that now? You know?
Beats me. We had a wonderful time doing that. It was really...
What was Robert Wagner like?
Adorable, as you see.
Now, as a leading lady yourself, I'm going to show you a screen test of one of Hollywood's great leading ladies. It's Audrey Hepburn. These colour camera tests from the 1940s have never been seen before. 16-year-old Audrey Hepburn, then a model, is showing off some satin curtains. But they're not interested in Audrey here. It's still some time before their big break, and they're testing out the new colour film stock. Zoom forward to 1952, and we have Audrey's screen test for her breakthrough movie, Roman Holiday.
Okay, tell us about the war.
I went to a ballet school and learned to dance. And in about 1944, about a year before the end of the war, I was quite capable of performing.
See, they don't make them like that anymore, do they?
And you know, she had an appetite and
Really?
ate. Oh, my God. She loved her food. And for all of that beautiful line that she maintained, she never had to do it dieting.
I have one Mars bar and I'm Basil Belly.
Me too.
I tell you, that's it. Well, it's been, I can't tell you what a treat it's been to have you on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please, the one and only Stefanie Powers. Come on, let's hear you. Don't go away, because we'll be looking at Oprah Winfrey's audition that led to stardom as a TV host and some of the biggest hats and sparkling frocks in Hollywood screen tests. See you later.